And joining me in the studio is Douglas Herbert, our international affairs commentator. Douglas, what took Sweden and Finland so long to put in their application for NATO?
Well, basically fear of antagonizing Russia and a lot of geopolitics in there and a lot of ideology and history. Look, they're different in their approach a little bit. Finland is right there. It's exposed to Russia. It has a 1,300-kilometer border with Russia. It fought 2 wars during the Soviet era with Russia, David-Goliath battle, if ever there was one. And it had a policy called Finlandization, you might remember, during the Cold War. No, you won't remember that, Annette. But Finlandization was basically making concessions to the Soviet Union. Really, this delicate balancing act, not being aligned to the U.S., not being aligned to the Soviet Union, in order to keep that geopolitical balance. And in Sweden's case, it was also an ideological component. Sweden has been non-aligned for 200 years. You have to go back to Marshal Bernadette, I think in 1818, since they last fought a war before that. This studious neutrality, non-alignment, these two countries have really had each other's backs. And Sweden isn't directly exposed to Russia, Net, but it may as well be. And it's tried to sort of, them two together, staying out of NATO, neither one of them was sort of singled out. I just want to show you quickly the Finnish Prime Minister. She explained it a lot better than I just did. If we could put her quote up, she said, "Why are they joining now? First of all, they looked at Ukraine and saw that could happen to them. We can't trust anymore that there'll be a peaceful future next to Russia on our own. That's why we're making the decision. It's an act of peace to make sure there'll never be again a war in Finland in the future."
Okay, so what will Sweden and Finland bring to this military alliance?
Yeah, let me just bring them up in 4 quick little bullet points I drew up. They're not pipsqueak little powers. They actually are bringing real military heft to bear into this alliance. And that first one, the North, right? Norway and Iceland and Denmark have been Nordic countries, NATO members since the outset. And yet Finland, Sweden sort of, decided never to join. Now it will be all 5 of those Nordic states in one big bloc. It will bolster the Baltics. The Baltics have always been a weak link, sort of out there on their own up against the Russian border. Now they'll have much more defensive logistical capability with Finland, Sweden there. Doubling the border, which I talked about, 1,300-kilometer border added right now to NATO with Russia. And they're bringing modern, up-to-date, high-tech militaries that also are militaries ruling in civilian states with the rule of law in modern democracies. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Could Turkey, however, block the process?
They could, but they're unlikely to. Erdogan is right now, I think, basically trying to get some leverage in negotiations. He blames Finland and Sweden for supporting what he considers, and the U.S. and Europe as well, terrorist organizations, the Kurdistan Workers' Party, the PKK, you know well. And he's basically asking for, A, security guarantees, and he also wants restrictions lifted on his own defense industry, things like being able to buy anti-missile systems from Russia, the S-400, which it did recently. He's looking for that. He's probably in the end, as Jen Stoltenberg said, they're going to find a way with Turkey. Turkey's not going to end up blocking this. It's trying to get some bargaining power right now.
Doug Herbert, thank you so much.